The Pentax 135mm 3.5 Super Multi-Coated Takumar from the early 1970s. In this edition of Jules Voto's Photo Focus, I will be reviewing this lens. And I shot this lens on my Nikon Z8, and I also had the recommended lens shade for it. Let's just give you some of the specs on this lens. It takes 49mm filters. It has a 6-blade aperture. It goes from 3.5 to f22 in half click stops. I use the Photassi M42 to Nikon Z adapter. It weighs 343 grams or 12 ounces. It has 5 elements in 4 groups, and it focuses down to 1.5 meters or 5 feet. I picked this lens up several years ago. I think I only paid $10. It does have a little bit of fungus. I don't know if you could see that here on the front element on the lower left and towards the middle on the left side. Now, I shot this lens on a family vacation to the New Jersey shore over the Labor Day weekend. And this shot here of my niece, it's at f4. And the lens is sharp, no question about it. I don't think that fungus degrades the image quality at all. It is not in the center. It is, like I said, it's on the edges. So here's another shot of my niece, again at f4. And you can see here that it's very sharp, throws the background out. She is very close to that railing there, and I was very pleased with it. Now, right before leaving, the morning we were leaving, I received a complimentary Godox IT30 Pro flash for review. And so I took it with me. Now, this shot is without the flash. And in a minute, I'm going to show you a picture just adding the flash, but it's a very compact unit. And I will be getting to a full review in the next week or so. So look for that. It's very lightweight. You hardly know that it's mounted on the camera. So I had it set for TTL with no exposure compensation, as you can see on the back of the touchscreen on the flash. So I took another shot of my niece, now with the Godox at full power, still at f4, and what a difference. It just brightens up the picture, more contrast. I really like the way it looked. I thought it was a little overpowering, so I cut it back 2/3 of a stop to 0.7. And again, it's very easy to do with the touchscreen on the back of the flash. And here's that shot. And I think it looks better with a little less flash. 2/3 of a stop does make a difference. So the lens is sharp, and the Godox really improves the images, I think. Now this one here is at 3.5 with the -2/3 stop on the flash. And here we are looking at this same image zoomed in at 3.5. That's wide open, and it's really sharp. I really like the background bokeh. Now here we are without the flash again at 3.5, and it's decent, but you just don't get the contrast you get when you add that little bit of fill flash. Now, when I shot weddings using a medium format camera, I always use a little bit of fill flash just to punch up the images, also to let the subject know that the picture was taken. Okay, so here we are with the no flash on the left and with the flash on the right at 3.5. And you could really see the difference that the flash makes. Just warms up the picture, adds to the contrast. The yellow on the blouse looks better. It really improves the image. And this lens at 3.5 is very usable. Of course, you just have to be careful to focus on the eyes. And with the Z8, you could zoom in to 100% or even to 400% to improve focus. Now, this shot is of my son. My focus was on his eyes, and then I added the flash. And it just is, a much improved image. Both images are sharp, but you just gain in contrast, in color, when you use the fill flash. Okay, so here's those two shots side by side, and again, you could really see the difference when you look at them side by side. So we took a walk on the boardwalk one morning, and these flowers here are at 5.6. I was about 5.5 feet from them, so almost at the close focus distance. Great color. There's no flash on these images. If there's another one used with flash, I will let you know. This little penguin here was at 5.6, and it's sharp. And with the Z8, it's really easy to focus. And here we are zoomed in to the penguin. I focused on the penguin's eye. And now this shot here is at 3.5. And again, it's sharp. No, not as sharp as at 5.6, but it's adequately sharp, and it works out really good for portraits at 3.5. And here we are zoomed in to the penguin at 3.5. Now, this one here is of my son. I was at 13 feet away at 3.5, wide open. And we're going to zoom into this just to show you the sharpness. And here we go. This, again, is at 3.5. The focus was on his glasses. I couldn't see his eyes. And this octopus here is at f4. So it's a nice sharp lens. It's compact and very light for 135. Now here's a shot at a distance. My focus was on that building in the background. These people just happened to be walking by, but you could see the sharpness. That's at 5.6. So if you're looking for a compact 135mm lens, I highly recommend this one. The original of this lens was introduced, I believe, in 1963. And then in the early 70s, when Pentax went to multi-coating, they produced this one. This man here is at 5.6, and it's sharp. I mean, the focus was right on him. And these lenses you could pick up really cheap. Like I said, I got mine for $10. I don't remember if it came with the shade or if I picked up the shade separately. This shade is also recommended for the Pentax 150 f4 and the 200mm 5.6. Now, I always try to take a shot when I remember at a distance. So this is at infinity because some lenses are sharp in the close range, but they're not that sharp in infinity. So this shot is focus was at infinity at f8, and it is sharp. So very pleased overall with the performance of this lens. These lenses were made in large quantities, so you should have no trouble finding one. Now, in my next video, I will be doing a review of the Mamiya 55mm 1.8, also an M42 mount lens, which I shot on this same vacation. So look for that. And remember to keep a watch out for my review of the Godox flash. And if you have any questions or comments on this video, please leave them in the comments below. I always try to respond to all questions and comments, and I usually publish a new video every Monday morning and Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. By the way, this shot here is at f4 with just a little bit of fill flash. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon.